Ree. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Oh, hey, Kelly. It's good to be here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for doing this for me. For those of you who do not know, Ree, will you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ree Stanley. I'm the Bead Wrangler lady. I'm the one that makes the Bead Wrangler boards that you can buy in my Etsy shop on the beadwrangler.com. And just a little bit about my background, how I even got started with these beading boards. When I retired in 2007 from corporate America, I was the vice president of human resources. Nothing to do with crafty anything, okay? And so I was looking for a hobby, and all my life I made most of my clothes, okay? And so I said, well, I really don't want to do that again. I want to try something different. So I decided to take a class at Joann's on how to bead.
Uh-huh.
And so it was boring. It was just stringing a little bracelet, but I said, well, let me do some research. And so I started doing research on bead weaving. And I said, this is a lot like sewing. So I'm going to try this. So I did a couple of patterns. I did several of your videos, Kelly, to learn. And I just fell in love with bead weaving.
Right.
And I joined little groups in town, and we'd have meetings once a month. Then I discovered bead embroidery. I bought Sherry Serafina's book, and I said, this is awesome because you can really get creative.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my first love, the bead embroidery. But with the beadboard business, I don't have time to do the bead embroidery. So mostly all I can do is the bead weaving. But anyway, while we were beading and I was looking at a different product,
mm-hmm.
I said, because of my history of sewing,
mm-hmm.
I said, there's got to be a way to make a better board.
Yeah.
Not knocking it, but I'm just saying mine's different.
Uh-huh.
So my husband has a garage full of tools. So I said, hey, Charles, cut me out a board this dimension and this thickness, and I want to play with it. And so I had some upholstery fabric, which is what my bases are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fortunate to have a resource in town that has really nice printed stretch velvet fabric. And so I was able to get, some pieces of that to play around with it. So I did my first board for myself. Mm-hmm. And of course, I took it to one of my beading circles, and they said, oh, I want one of those. And because, they just got jealous because I had a big one. I had the 12 by 14.
Yeah.
And so they talked me into, Ree, you ought to just, go ahead and start making them. So I did. I hit a few bumps in the road, but that all got resolved. But as I started using the beading board, I came up with other products that I thought would make it even easier. So that's when I came up with the bead pods, which are these little things,
mm-hmm.
Right here.
Yep.
Came up with the bead pods, and they don't, they actually, you see how I got it? They don't slide off, so
right.
It's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was the first thing I came up with. Then I came up with the beading apron, because when I bead in my lap a lot, and so I would put that apron on, and if a bead fell, it fell in the side pocket.
Right.
So that was, all this is from my frustration in beading.
Uh-huh.
Then I came up with the thread wrangler because, I lose the little white tab that comes on the fire line. So I said, okay, all right. And I was at a bead and button show, and they had given us one in the souvenir packet that was kind of different. I said, I can make one of those. It'd be a little bit different, but I can make one that'll serve the same purpose.
Yeah.
And so I got my little sewing tools out and some eyelets, and I made the thread wrangler.
Right.
And so those are my, let me back up. When I got the bead pods, I said, I don't want to put all this stuff away. So I created a cover. for mine, a stretch cover. And I think you had one, Kelly, and you can shake that thing, and when you open it up, your beads are still there, particularly if you use these. And so that was another product that came up with. And then my last product is the a Bead Pod Strip. Let me get one right here. And this is the same thing. I have one with 7 wells in it and one with 5 wells in it. So all these came from me addressing issues I was having with beading. So I just create something to kind of fix it, you know?
Right.
So that's how I got started.
Wow. Well, can I just say, I give you all the props in the world for being able to sew your own clothes. Because let me tell you, if Kelly Dale made clothes, oh my Lord, they would be, you couldn't wear them nowhere.
I mean, I actually did tailoring. That's how advanced I got. Because, you know, I was an executive, so I had to represent, you know?
Right.
But my mother was a tailor, so I had it in my DNA. So what can I say?
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. So, Reed, tell me, on these boards, you know how much, especially this board, like I love my board, but the biggest complaint I hear about the boards is the fact that they're expensive. Why are they so expensive? Can you walk us through what goes into kind of making the boards? But on top of that, we know that as of right now, when we're filming this, that cost of product is going really high.
Yeah.
So can you walk us through
the
process?
Okay. Well, there's several components to my bead board. The first is the base, the stiff base, and the cost of those have gone up. It's called MDF, I think. Yeah. MDF is the size. Okay. There's 2 thicknesses now. With the rectangular boards, I can cut. My husband can cut these boards without a lot of waste. Okay. But when it gets to the big boards like this one right here, you use up almost a sheet of paper, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left for you to do anything else with.
Right.
And so, you know, I had to build in the cost of all that waste to get that particular shape. In addition to that, you know, I went into sticker shock when I ordered foam rubber, because I don't use Velux. I use actual, you know, high density foam rubber. And it has more bounce, it's more durable, that kind of thing. And the cost of those doubled on me. And I go to a foam fabricator, which is a wholesaler.
Yeah.
You know, and if I had tried to buy it from a retailer, you know, God, that would have just been awful. But so that's another thing. Fabric, you know, I used to wait until I got a coupon, because this particular fabric I get from Hobby Lobby, believe it or not. And I would wait until I got a 40% off coupon, and I would buy it then. Well, Hobby Lobby's quit offering the 40% coupon, so you know, I have to almost pay full price if I run out. You know, not unless I can wait until it goes on sale. In addition to that, you know, everything is done by hand. So when I get the upholstery fabric, then I have to embroider it most of the time. Most people ask for the embroidery. And so, you know, embroidery thread is not cheap. And so my original embroidery machine broke, so I had to buy another one. Those are not cheap. So I embroider it, and then I assemble it. And in assembling it, it's like a factory. You know, I've got a little process. You know, I glue the foam down, and then I stitch my boards are stitched on a machine. Okay. So they may fall in the corner, but they don't get jammed.
Right.
You know, they don't get jammed in the corner because they're stitched. A lot of your other boards, they hold it down with either stapling a piece of wood down that keeps it down, but you could get a bead stuck in there. But mine you can't. So I actually physically stitch the trim to this. And then I go to the process of filling it out. And then on the side, so it's not rough on the edge, I add some extra touches to make sure that that there's no way for the board to cut through the fabric. So I finish off the edges with a different kind of material. And then I buy the cost of the vinyl I put on the back doubled.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it doubled. So, you know, it's I only went up $5 from the original on the small one. So, you know, this one is 45 down, but I think compared to the other boards on the market, it's very competitive in price. Well, but that one, the reason why it's so expensive is because there's no margin of error. You know, if he miscuts that board, I've lost the whole sheet, you know? And there's just so much waste with that one.
Well, and let me ask you this, Ree. So like on a board in general, how long does it take you to make a board? Say, if you sit down and assemble, are we talking like an hour? Are we talking more than an hour? Like, just a guesstimate.
Okay, well, what I do is I pre-cut a lot of stuff. It saves a little time. But if I had to cut the right size beading surface, cut the foam, cut the trim, cut the board, I'm guessing between me and my husband and his time, it probably is about an hour, maybe an hour and a half per board.
Well, all I got to say is thank you, because if I cut this out and tried to make one of these, number one, nobody would buy it, because number two, I'd sell it for $500.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a labor of love, you know, because like I say, I'm retired, you know, I'm not making a living off of these boards, but I do it as a service to the beading community because it really has brought me so much joy. So, yeah, I make a little money, but the biggest thing is I'm able to write off some stuff because I have this. You know what I mean? Right. So that is a part of the incentive to do it. But yeah, if I add up all the time, because, you know, my husband, you know, I discount what he does, but if he got to the point where he couldn't make the boards, I'd have to shut down. Right.
Exactly. So, okay, can you show us some different sizes and types of boards that you specifically make?
Okay. This is the 10 by 12.
Okay, 10 by 12.
Now, this is the 12 by 14, but it's a two-sided board.
Gotcha. Now, tell us about this two-sided board, Ree.
Okay. The two-sided board is not available in my shop as of yet. I'm really thinking about putting it back in, but what the two-sided board is, and any of the larger boards, 10 by 12, the 12 by 14, and the 12-inch round are available in two-sided. Right now, you have to make a custom order to get it. But the theory with this one is that if you're working with a lot of dark beads, you can see them really well on the light side. But if you're working on a project, and I've worked on several of them where it's clear beads, or clear crystals, you can't see it on the white. You can't see what you're doing. So if you got a project like that, you just flip the board over and use it on the dark side. Okay. Gotcha. And so it does come, you know, I make a cover that fits it as well. So that's the two-sided.
Gotcha.
Then I've got this is the 12-inch round.
Okay.
Okay. This is the 8-inch round.
Nice.
And I made this board for the Bead Society of Palm Beach. They gave all of their participants in their retreat a board.
That's really nice.
Really nice. Yeah, really they've done it 2 years in a row.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
This is the 7 by 12.
Yeah, and I really like that size board.
Yeah.
It's a good travel.
Yeah, that's a 7 by 12.
Yeah, it's a really, really good travel board. And don't forget your ultimate board.
My ultimate board, yes, the Big Daddy. Yeah, this is the ultimate.
Yes.
Okay. And what I like about it is it doesn't have any corners. So there's nothing for the thread to get caught on. You know how aggravating it is when the thread gets caught on the corner of the board. That's why my actual favorite is the round, the 12-inch round. And this one, if I got a big project, the ultimate is my go-to board. But just when I travel, I travel with my round board just for the fact that the thread doesn't get caught.
Right. Well, I hate to admit it, but I love the big board because if I'm working on something and I want to work on something else, I just scoot one project over to the side and continue working.
That's the beauty. And you can put as many pods as you need to with the different beads if you're working on a project. So, and it doesn't matter, because they can fit in the curves and stuff, and you can, fit in there nicely. It doesn't take up, because the strip, that strip would take up too much of the beading surface.
Right.
So the little pods work great on that.
Well, Ree, I know like my trusty lint roller works really great to get like any dirt and lint off of my boards. But as you can see, I have some spots on my board where I constantly work on it. And a lot of it's my red lipstick where I touch my lips.
Okay.
How do we clean? How do we get this clean?
Piece of dry cloth.
Okay, so just like terry cloth, old t-shirt, whatever.
Or anything,
Okay.
Bottle of either floor cleaner or upholstery cleaner or rug cleaner.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Okay. And so you just spray some on here.
So we don't spray it on the board. We spray it
not on the board.
Okay.
No. Okay. And I'm gonna make a mark. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because I'm not gonna make a dark one. One caution though. You know how that smoked fire line rubs off?
Right.
Okay. If it's just lightly rubbing on the board, it cleans up nicely. But if you gouge it into the board, like if you hold it down with your nail and pull the thread through and make a line, that's difficult to get out.
Okay.
But what I had a pencil here. Hold on. Can you see that X? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. I'm going to try to get that X out, okay?
Okay.
Mark with a pencil. I have grandkids that like to mark on stuff. So,
honey, I have a 7-year-old who loves to mark on anything he can find. So.
You see it's fading? Might take a couple of tries. It will come off.
Okay, so on your,
I'm gonna do it here because it's easier.
Bob cleaner is going to be what upholstery cleaner is going to be what we need, huh?
Yeah, upholstery cleaner. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you a couple of other tips.
Okay, good. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's about gone now. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
One more swipe and I'll do. Okay. I accumulate a lot of excess foam from cutting out the thing. It's amazing. This works like the magic erasers.
Okay.
But it doesn't fall apart. Even the magic erasers fall apart.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. This doesn't. And so you can just rub it. You can put as much pressure on it as you can. The nap, the fabric comes right back up and it looks brand new.
Wow.
And I'm using this on that X to get the last of it up. Completely gone.
Wow, that is cool. I feel like we're in an infomercial.
Yeah, completely clean. So
that's cool.
That's one thing. And if it doesn't come out all the way, go ahead and do it again. Now, for lipstick, I wouldn't grind it in there. I do it lightly until it continually fades.
Okay.
Because if it's lipstick, you don't want it to get down into the nap.
Right.
You follow me?
Exactly.
So just, wipe lightly.
Okay. I am going to have to go to the store and buy me some Resolve so I can clean my boards.
It doesn't matter. You can use the wool, any kind of upholstery cleaner works. Okay. Any kind.
Is there a time frame that we need to wait after we clean the board? I know it's going to be damp from where we clean it. So how long do you say we need to wait to work on that board?
It's dry to the hand.
Okay.
Wait till it's dry to the hand, because if you use it before it dries out, if you're using a bead that doesn't have really high grade coating on it,
right,
it could try to, it could rub off on it too. Then you'd have to use the Resolve all over again. So anyway, that's how you do that.
Oh, this makes my day.
Yeah, and also these work too. These lint removers.
Yes. Yes.
They work really well too.
Yes, I have the roller and I use it all the time.
Yeah, it works. It works. Yeah.
Yes. It's for $1 at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah. We go with, and what I'm starting to do now is accumulate scraps. And I'll probably throw one of these little foams in when I get enough to, keep up.
Right.
Just so people will have something else, because this is good for daily cleanup, Yeah. So you don't let that stuff, because it brings the nap back up. It's just really nice. So, well, that's it.
One other question. I've never had the issue with your boards, but I have seen some people complain online about like when they're beading after a while on their boards. Some of it, I guess if they're using Velux, like the person who made it uses Velux or something like that, the actual material starts to come off of the board. From your experience, is there any way, I know that technically can't be repaired because you've taken stuff off the board, but is there some way that you can stop that from happening? Or is there some way that we can be repaired? I guess I don't know how else to say that.
I hate to tell you this, but no, Velux is a very fragile fabric.
Right.
If you took a piece of Velux, and you can just pull it apart easily. Okay. And I make I make these out of Velux, and I found some Velux blankets online actually.
Yep.
But the inserts that make the circle, they went up 3 times. 3 times.
Yeah.
I was saying, but I'm not going up on the price of these, because when I buy 5,000 at a time. So,
just a few.
Got plenty. I've got plenty. But here's the thing with the Velux. All fabrics aren't made for durability. Okay.
Right.
Velux has a nice nap. But I'll talk about the nap of the fabric.
Right.
Okay. And so, the beads laying whole high and everything. It has a little bit of padding in it, but the only padding is it's 2 sheets of Velux kind of fused together with a piece of netting in between. Now, once a hole, and they get holes in them. Yeah. Once a hole comes out, like with these, occasionally I'll mess up and a piece of this will come off.
Right.
I can't sell that. I can't.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to fix it. So, and I understand that there's a way to clean them because they get dirty pretty easily. Right. But if you try to clean, don't use my method to clean it because it'll tear it up.
Gotcha. So your method of cleaning is for your boards.
Right. These are high quality upholstery velvet. Okay. It's not clothing velvet. It's upholstery velvet. It is manufactured to withstand a lot of pressure from sitting on it.
Right.
Okay. Or putting your feet on it. So it is tough. Okay. Velux is not.
Gotcha.
Okay. And there's, I'm not the only one that uses upholstery fabric,
right.
there's plenty of people that use it. So, I'm not disparaging anybody else's boards at all, because it's all a matter of personal preference. But in terms of durability, the ability to keep it clean and fresh, upholstery velvet works better.
Gotcha. Okay. Good.
But most boards that use upholstery velvet don't put an extra layer of foam rubber underneath it.
Yeah.
And I use either 3/8 inch or a 1/4 inch thick foam rubber underneath them.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool deal. Well, Reed, where can viewers find you on the web?
They can find me on www.thebeadwrangler.com. Wrangler.com. Or they can go to Etsy and just type in Bead Wrangler and my shop will pop up.
Gotcha. Good deal. Well, Reed, you have given us a wealth of information today about your boards, how to clean the boards, which I am so excited about. I'm going to leave as soon as we get off. I'm going to buy me some Resolve cleaner or whatever and clean. So thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And being with me. And I cannot wait till we can all go out and hang out together again.
I know.
I can come and see you, or come to Bijou.
Go to a class. Yes. That'd be great. Well, I have 3 ladies. I've traveled to your store with them.
Yes.
We've all been vaccinated, so we're just happy campers, so we can get together now.
See, there you go. So we are on track. Hopefully we are on the board.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for the day. On a sad note, last year was my 70th birthday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I had to cancel my big trip to Aruba. Well, we scheduled another one for my birthday this year. Canceled again. Aruba's at a level 4 for COVID.
Oh, wow.
So even though we're vaccinated, we're not gonna go.
Oh,
what do you say?
I know that is such, but I always told everybody, like, when we can all safely hang out and get together, like, we're gonna have the biggest birthday, anniversary, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter celebration. Like, we're gonna have every decoration.
I know. My husband retired from Delta, so we travel a lot. And we haven't been able to go anywhere for a year and a half.
Oh, Lord, love flying Delta.
Okay.
All right, sugar. Thank you so much. And remember, guys, you can find Reed at thebeadwrangler.com or on Etsy. Just go to etsy.com and search for The Bead Wrangler. So again, Reed, thank you so much.
Right.
And you have a fabulous day.
You are so welcome.
Okay.
All right.